أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين آمين. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wa Islam. All praise due to Allah. May Allah Ta'ala bless Prophet Muhammad, raise him to a high state in Jannah. May Allah bless Prophet Noble Ali, that he's the prophet that he sent to us, to redeem us from our sinful ways, to redeem us from mental slavery, and to lead us back to the Qibla and his comforter. To bless Noble Ali and his forerunner and their comforter, Master Timothy Dingle Ill, Noble Drew L.I. in this new era time now, Alayhi Wasallam. Allah Ta'ala chose him, raised him up to figure out a code in the Moorish literature that led to the intellectual property rights and a host of other very important things that pertains to the legitimacy of the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? The legitimation of the Moorish Science Temples of America, not only as an organization, but as a movement, as an Islamic movement here in the Western Hemisphere. That's what I would like to touch upon that night. But before I go further, I would just like to give honor and may Allah Ta'ala bless those true Moors who hear and obey the Prophet. Because the true Moors obey the laws as laid down to them by their Prophet, right? They follow the Prophet to a destiny that is not uncertain nor unknown, right? They're not outside the temple, right? All true Moors are inside the temple, obeying the laws as laid down to them in the Prophet. And the Prophet tells us what? The Prophet tells us in the voice of the Prophet article in the Moorish literature, in his supreme words, join the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you would have power, you understand, to free and or redeem your race. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America. See, I understand that, and I understand that, a lot of you disgruntled with, these storefront, these churches in Moorish Science Temple of America, right? So we got to work to get them out. I'm going to apply to that. A lot of us don't want to work. This requires a work, divine duty. Okay. But I understand that, if you guys follow my my talks, and my writings and so forth, and don't get dismayed because I write it in boldface a lot, capital letters and stuff a lot. I like using it. It's a lot easier, for me, And another reason I do that is because you may have left your glasses or your contacts. You may not have your glasses or your contacts, and you can see it on the phone. You can see it on the computer. If you mirror your computer, your phone or your computer to your big screen television, you can see that, because it's in boldface. You don't have to squint and everything. That's if you left your glasses or don't have your contacts, or you have problems seeing small print. Well, that's another reason why I write in boldface a lot. But the gist of what I want to talk about tonight, let me give my salams to the brothers and sisters in the main three, the brothers and sisters on Africa Prime, and the brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, the Ma'afa, throughout the Ma'afa, and our brothers and sisters in the noble Islamic world, all over the noble Islamic world. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah Ta'ala continue to bless you all and your families, and especially the children. I mean, we gotta stop, we gotta stop playing. It's just too much unconcerned about the truth. See, about really being free, right? About really pursuing liberation as an Islamic nation, right? Because let's be real. Let's talk as brothers and sisters. You understand? As the children of one father has given you son, provided for by his care. Right. Remember the relationship that bonded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger for your own blood. Right. Thy brothers in adversity assist him. Our sisters in trouble forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be contribute to us all in our relationship to each other. The Asiatic covenant. Right. It's the Asiatic family we're talking about here. We should talk. We should talk. You understand? I know this is a bit strategic. We don't. I'm saying that we should talk, but I'm not saying how. Right? I'm not going into detail, but I'm just putting it out there that we need to talk. Right? We need to talk. We need to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the truth is art, and art is Allah. Right? And Allah, obeying Allah, that's what's going to free us. That's what's going to strengthen us. It's what's going to truly enrich us. Right? We got to seek Allah first. If we want to truly be rich, if we want to truly be powerful, if we want to truly be respected, if we want to truly be admired and honored, among our brothers and sisters in the noble Islamic world, we have to obey Allah. We have to seek Allah's face first. Right? And I'm gonna tell you, brothers, something there. I'm rather young in Orthodox Islam. Okay, I've yet to find a comfortable imam where I'm very comfortable with that. That I can really settle with and learn this deen, because that's what's up. Timothy Dingle Islam. On the back of the diagram of the resurrection book, Supreme Lord, this book was prophesied. This is the result of the 50 years prophecy. But this diagram right here, right? About a bunch of intrigue and everything. That represents the rupture of the amniotic sac, amniorexis, water breaking. When a woman is pregnant, right, before she have a baby, her water breaks. Then she gives birth. That's what this is. See, that's spermatozoa going to the egg, fertilizing the egg, formulating, a child, a baby. Then the water breaks, then the baby is born. You understand? The birth of Orthodox Islam. We're talking about, Abu Aziz, Abu Aziz Rahman, Rahman Saud. His name is Aziz Rahman Ibn Saud, the Sultan of Arabia at this time, but he became the king, he united all those tribes and everything, and the Sultanate of Saudi Arabia became the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and seed of Hagar, see the word seed in here and everything, that's spermatozoa. That is the spermatozoa hitting the egg and birthing Orthodox Islam in the movement. Muhammad, you understand me? The Ishmaelites, this is the birth of Orthodox Islam. This is all types of, it alludes to Mecca. This is the birth of Orthodox Islam in the movement. Timothy Dingle Islam is in the capacity of the Comforter. Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey is Jesus Christ and John the Baptist of Islam. I'll be pleased with them. And the Comforter, the Jesus Christ and John the Baptist, was Prophet Muhammad, the Paraclete of Islam. Al Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He unites the world's the old time religion. Because every 2,000 or 3,000 years, the Holy One sends somebody to this world to straighten out and put it back, dust it off, put it back on track. You know, the old time religion. There's only one truth down here, and it's, you know, the people who Allah Ta'ala chose to express this world idea, you know, this religious world idea this go around is the Israelites. And in the Arabic language, the old time religion is called Al-Islam, Dinul Al-Islam, right? That's what it is. It is the evolution of the Menphite theology. You understand? I mean, going all the way back to ancient Kemet to the source and all that, that's good. Right? But don't get stuck there. Don't get fixated. You know, like a lot of these, you know, these secret agents want y'all to get fixated. You know, they interjected that in the Afrocentric thought stream, right, to combat this book by that professor, Jewish Onslaught. You know, they was highly upset about that. Highly upset about that. They was highly upset about the secret relationship between blacks and Jews put out by the Nation of Islam. You know, so they had to do things to combat that. You know, put a lot of the you know, they try to take a lot of attention off of them and put it on the Arabs. You know, the Arabs' participation in the African slave trade and everything. You know, but even though the Arabs committed atrocities as well, they didn't take your nationality. They didn't take the language. Okay, and besides all this, the Arabs has pledged compensation in the billions of dollars. See? Yeah. The Arabs pledged billions of dollars in compensation for their participation in the, you know, African enslavement trade systems. Right? And we need to understand that. Right? And we need to take advantage of that too. So, but we normally take advantage of the truth. You hear what I say? We can only take advantage of these things because Islam is true religion. This is the truth. This is the truth on earth. It has a basis in known things. See? I tell you one thing, us Moorish Americans, us who really understand the Moorish science doctrine, you understand? When we explicate, when we explain this demonstration, people won't scratch their head. You know, and look at us perplexingly. You understand me? Because this has a basis in known things. You understand? It has a coherent patternization, right? It has a coherent thought process. It has, you know, it makes sense. You know, it's truth. It's the truth, right? How Noble Drew Ali got our nationality back, you understand? Got this slave status from up off of us, you understand? And, you know, a lot of Moorish Americans, you know, they're primarily responsible for our nation's plight. Ultimately. Because, you know, we are people's leaders. Allah Ta'ala let us know that we're our people's leaders when He sent us a prophet. A prophetic team, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, you understand? Subhanallah Rabbi al-Azim, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, right? That's verbal, shuka shazud, if I'm pronouncing it right. Sajud shuka, you know, when you're so thankful. And you know you're so thankful and appreciative. You stop what you're doing and bow down. You know, Shuka Suzu, Sajud Shukur. I think I'm saying that right. But you might have seen Imam just saying they might have said something on the day, you know, on the minbar, and just struck them so wonderfully that they stopped what they're doing and bow down. You know. Make three sujuds right there on the spot. Yeah, what you know, that's what I felt like right now when I just said that. But the Moorish Science Temple Murray is very important, you know, and it's important for all of us to know that we're the leaders, you know. Yeah, we might be weak and all, might be a bit chaotic, right? Maybe a bit disunified, right? But the truth is going to unite us. We got that, and I'm speaking to all you faithful, good, honest, serious, and courageous, steady, fearless brothers and sisters, right? Speaking to us, we need assistance to, get these scared cats out of our organization because they're holding us back, right? These people, that's playing around, that's disobedient. We got to get into the truth, get into the law and the truth and everything, because we have entire lineages, right, that's just disobedient. They're just disobedient, right? They broke away from the true foundation, and it caused a lot of disruption and weakness in these fissures or weaknesses in our Islamic movement here in the Western Hemisphere. We got to start getting serious about it, right? This is real. Allah Ta'ala is going to punish us. He's going to take, going to replace us, right? It's going to replace us. That's dreadful. That's dreadful. The Holy One replacing us. It's dreadful, right? But I want to read something tonight. Something I wrote. One of my white papers, right? I wrote this 12/19/93. It is an essay I wrote in 93 concerning the first come, first honored article from the Resurrection book of Master Timothy Dingle Hill, Noble Drew Ali in this new era time now. Okay? Some notes of mine, right? I have one here, notes, Ezekiel 21, verse 2, drop thy word, I used to mail these off, to politicians and stuff like that, dignitaries and stuff like that, lets them know what's going on, And a lot of people know that Timothy Dingle Hill, alayhi salam, Timothy Dingle Hill, Noble Drew Al-I, alayhi salam, is the rightful and true long-range successor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, especially a lot of folks in the military. Have his own file over there in the military. Timothy Dingle Hill set it up. Yes, so the people know who Noble Drew Ali and the Honorable Marcus Garvey, alayhi salam, the modern day Jesus Christ and John the Baptist, they know who their comforter is. See? And why we into talking about, because the gist of my talk tonight is the truth and the power of the truth. Okay, we gotta stop lying. That may be a harsh term, right? Maybe a harsh term. Well, I'm gonna, this came out. I always think before I say something, but when it came out like I had no control of it, it wasn't me. Believe that. But we have to stop saying things that aren't true. Like, for instance, in the Moorish Temple of Mary, among the Resurrection group, they keep saying that Richardson Dingle Hill is Noble Drew Ali III. No. Noble Drew Ali III is the one who has copyright registration. Noble Drew Ali II is John Gibbons Hill, Noble Drew Ali reincarnated. See, we had 3 Moorish prophets, not 4. 3 Moorish prophets. You understand? Just like Allah Ta'ala sent 3 prophets, you understand, to the people of Antioch. Allah Ta'ala sent us 3 Moorish prophets. We had a total of 5 messengers, right? But there are 3 Moorish prophets. Nabi Drew Ali alayhi salam, John Gibbons Hill, Nabi Drew Ali reincarnated alayhi salam, and Timothy Dingle Hill. Nabi Drew Ali, he changed the vowel sounds from Ali to Al-I. Powerful demonstration. I got into that. Right? It's a powerful blessing. Why he changed the vowel sound from Noble Drew Ali to Noble Drew Al-I. And it has something to do with the divine constitutional bylaws that I on that demonstration. powerful degree. Well, anyway, what they did, their followers found really began to understand, the Richardson Dingle Ill's children, his flock. They really began to understand how powerful Timothy Dingle Ill's position became when Allah Ta'ala chose him to find that code and follow it through, and with the copyright law. When he found the code and followed the instruction, it pertained to the intellectual property rights of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali alayhi salam. Come to find out that his work was in public domain. He retrieved the works out of public domain legally, somehow resecured them, and became all the titles and everything that Noble Drew Ali had through this literature. They were awarded or accrued to himself. You understand? So he actually legally became a rational legal prophet. He was Noble Drew Ali rationally and legally. You understand? But really, charismatically, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him to see that. He's the only one in the entire movement who saw, you understand, the code that led to the copyright, that led to the knowledge that, the prophet, the loving prophet's work was in public domain. These masses and everything around him allowed the prophet's work to fall in the public domain. See? Well, he's the only one that saw this, right? Followed through and everything, and became the rightful and true long-range successor of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. See? But back to what I was saying about Richardson Dingle Ill's flock, they did this out of appeasement. You understand? They had construed something. This is all 990 thing. You understand? They tried to say the Moses and Aaron. They tried to allude to them two being Moses and Aaron and everything. Well, understand that. But that's probably a good allusion. You understand? That's probably a good context and thematic. But the fact of the matter is, Richardson Dingle Ill, Runner Allahu Anu, right? Blessed brother. His name is not on the copyright registration certificate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not allow him to see the code. Allah Ta'ala did not allow him to usher in Orthodox Islam in the movement. There is no Noble Drew Ali III for real. And the brothers, understand, that's come up under Richardson Dingle Ill and everything, if they're not mature enough to deal with this fact, then you just keep on being, just keep on carrying a bone. It's a Baltimore term. People carrying a bone, rumor, carrying false information, right? Use somebody carrying a rumor or carrying a lie, carrying on a lie. They heard a lie, so they're going to tell a lie to somebody else. Or they hear a rumor, and they're going to pass the rumor on to somebody else. We call it carrying the bone. See? And we got to face the fact. Noble Drew Ali III is Timothy Dingle Ill. Alhamdulillah. He ushers in Orthodox Islam in the movement. 3 is a master number. You understand? It's the number of intensity. It's also the number of completion. It's also the number of the Magi. You understand? It's also the number of pinnacle. Tip top. You understand? 12, 1 and 2 is 3, right? Tip top. Timothy Dingle Ill, you understand, is Prophet Noble Drew Ali III. Not his brother. May Allah be pleased with him and grant him high rank in Jannah, right? But he's not Noble Drew Ali III, and y'all need to stop that. Because you can't prove it. You can't prove it. You get into that 990 demonstration, it's almost nonsense. I have to say that. Because I got into it. Right. It's an artifice. Although, the intentionality of it is good. Nonetheless, it's an artifice. It is a contrivance. It's an appeasement degree. And, Timothy, Master Tim alayhi salam, Daddy Good, is a wonderful, kind man. He didn't want to see his brother hurt. His oldest brother at that. How his older brother feel when their younger brother get more blessed than they are. I'm the oldest, so what, why should I obey you and do what you say? What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's call? That's what we need to understand. And Allah don't make no mistakes. Allah tells us throughout, the old law and even the new law, the younger child usually always wind up leading. You need to understand that. I wasn't upset with my little brother. I got a little brother that's brilliant. Well, he was brilliant. Well, I ain't telling my brother business out, but we supposed to be working for him. He's so smart and everything. I didn't mind. He was brilliant. He was smart enough to tell me what to do. Plus, I'm looking at it divinely anyway. You be around a youngster man that's brilliant, you understand, and has leadership skills and all that, but you upset and angry for because he's young. It's a blessing. Right? Well, anyway, and people don't see these kind of things, that's a sign. See, that's a sign. Latent treachery. Blatant betrayal. You understand me? Because of these kind of feelings. You gotta watch the signs. You gotta learn how to read the ayat Allah, the signs of Allah. I learned how to read the signs of Allah. Right? I learned. I don't read signs all the time. Sometimes I miss a lot. I miss a lot because a lot of stuff is really not for you. If you don't get it, it's really not for you. I don't care how hard and deep you look. If you don't get it, it's not for you. Right? We need to understand that. Because Allah chooses people to see things, especially in this process. This divine Islamic national liberation process. This divine this Islamic national reclamation, this liberation process. Because we're here to reclaim stuff as a nation. This is reclamation. This is an Islamic national reclamation, liberation. Reclamation is liberation, right? Of America and the world. We got to liberate things all over the world. Liberate ideas, because a lot of ideas are in bondage as well. Like the idea that we inferior. The idea that we didn't do anything in this world. We didn't have no world contribution and everything. A lot of lies that the children of Iblis told on Adam. Satan has gone off and deceived the whole world. About what? About the children of Adam, being inferior. Yeah. Right. Well, anyway, let me read what I've written right back in '93. A little essay on the First Come article from the Resurrection book by Mr. Timothy Dingle Il Noble Drew L.I. Okay? Notes on the First Come honored article from the Resurrection book. Ezekiel 21 verse 2 in parentheses in the upper left hand corner. My brother Kirk Bailey Ill, SGR. Before I change my name, okay, to Muhammad Ali Bailey Abdul Al-Ado, okay. The First Come honored article of the Resurrection book of Mr. Timothy Dingle Ill is a concept and a message. See the Resurrection book, Moorish Zion Temple of America, The Truth Be Yourself and Not Somebody Else, 1978, see page 32 to 34. Paragraph. What this is primarily about is the legitimacy of the Moorish Zion Temple of America as being the rightful leader of the children of the African slave trade in the Americas and the world, for that matter. See Revelations chapter 3, verse 7 through 13. But see verse 11, especially, where it says, "Hold fast to that which thou hast, that no man take thy crown." You see. Let that sit in for a little bit. Let me read that again. This is the second paragraph. What this is primarily about is the legitimacy of the Moorish Zion Temple of America Incorporated as being the rightful leader of the children of the African slave trade in the Americas and the world, for that matter. See Revelations chapter 3, verse 7 through 13. But see verse 11 especially, where it says, hold fast to that which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. SubhanAllah. Okay. So let me pause right there. Just can't give all this, give it all at one time. No cramming. Sometimes we take a bite of something that really takes it. Especially something that we really need and or like. We really savor it. Right? Let it go down smoothly and nicely, right? Settle on the stomach. Right? Although information contained in this particular essay may be upsetting to some people's stomach. Right? But good food, you understand, always settles good. It settles good. It's good on the digestive system, and it comes out fairly easily. Okay. If I want a little, get a little too gauche here, but let that sit in for a while, right? There is a some scripture says, let no man steal thy crown. See, in Revelation, the book of Zabur, this is the modern day Zabur, Revelation of St. John the Divine, chapter 3, verses 7 through 13, where we're on verse 11 particularly, especially, when it says, hold fast to that which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. You see. Go on. You see, Revelations chapter 3, verse 7 to 12 is the Moorish Sun Temple of Mara Incorporated, with the Supreme Grand Resurrection Party as the cornerstone, i.e., the ruling party. Because I declared that the religious affidavit, our authority, Form 10 and 99 of the Divine National Movement, is the key of David. See? The scriptural name. Remember I was giving you guys a spoon feed in my stories? What is the scriptural name of Form 1099? It's the key of David. Revelations chapter 7, verse 12 alludes to Form 1099 in the Moorish Sun Temple of America. Right, the key of David. No man openeth, and no man shutteth the doors of the Moorish Sun Temple of America. Right. Only he who possesses the copyright registration has the power to do that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge of this demonstration. Just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala oversees the Al-Kitab, the Holy Quran, subhanallah. He oversees certain other literatures and stuff in the world too that a lot of us, probably don't notice. But there are certain things, even the Piscean record, the Bible, that Allah Ta'ala won't allow to be tampered with. Right? Certain truths in that Piscean record. That's, when you really look at it, for example, the Ancient of Days, with the white hair and everything, and also with how Jesus is the image of Christ is in Revelation chapter 1. How are these things still in it? The woolly hair, that's us, right? If we inferior and everything, right? See the contradiction? People saying that we inferior and everything, but these holy folks, these holy people, these people who are empowered, you understand me? Who are authorized by the Holy One, who are divinely authorized, right, to lead this world, you understand, religiously, spiritually, you understand, are African people. African people only want to have woolly hair. The children of Adam, alayhi salam, Bani Adam, alayhi salam. See, Allah Ta'ala didn't allow these truths to be discarded. That's Allah's work. There's certain things that Allah ain't gonna have it. Yeah, man is never left without a beacon like the God. Physically, you understand, academically, spiritually. That's real. You understand? If man is never left without a beacon like the God, then man is not in charge of it. Man is never left without a beacon like the God. It don't sound like man is in charge of that, do it? So that has to be Hadith al-Qudsi. God said that through Elihu Salam. Elihu Salam said that, with the early childhood education of Jesus Christ. We're taught in Circle 7. Right? That's Hadith al-Qudsi. Who's in charge of man's affairs down here on earth? Man, we're not really in charge of anything. A lot of us think we are. See, a lot of the atheists, the materialists, right? They don't believe in God and everything. But they'll find out. A lot of them have, a lot of these materialists who are, running stuff, like, the communists, the Soviet, the communists who have all this, have power, and they're allowed to have this power. And a lot of them have crazy dreams and visitations, but they ain't talking about it, see. They're dismissing it. They're attributed to their subconscious and all that, see. Oh yeah, people who run this world and everything, they have communications on the pillow and probably in other situations, but they're just not talking about it, see. Or they're attributed to their subconscious. Yeah, right. Well, anyway, let's get back to this again. Yeah, I wrote this 1993, 12/19/93, right? When I was in the Maryland House of Correction. It's when I went to college and I learned computer literacy, right? Learned how to type and everything, right? And I'm telling you, the program that I missed is called WordPerfect. WordPerfect is nice. Some aspects of WordPerfect put Microsoft Office to shame. Well, anyway, it says here, hold fast to that which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. You see, Revelation chapter 3, verse 7 to 12 is the resurrection party as the cornerstone, that is the ruling party. Because I declare that the religious affidavit, our authority form 1099 of the Divine National Movement, is the key of David. Yes, this is the Moorsign Temple of America in prophecy. Philadelphia is the key word. For in ancient Moab, now called Jordan, there was a city called Philadelphia. This is a clue or a key word as to who this passage is referring to. See? Book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 7 to 13. Right. And I have down here in the third paragraph, the angel of the church in Philadelphia is Mr. Timothy Dingle Hill Noble Drew Al-I, in this New Era time now. It alludes, it is alluding to, the angel of the church in Philadelphia alludes to Mr. Timothy Dingle Hill Noble Drew Ali. Peace and blessings be upon him in this New Era time now. See the Moorish questionnaire, number 37, number 38, number 39, number 40, and number 41. See the Resurrection book, page 2, second paragraph. Then see Revelation chapter 14, verse 6 and 7. And a great many of us Muslims do not realize that a Zubur exists. That means a book of dark prophecies. See Holy Quran, Surah 16, ayats 43 to 4. And or Surah 3, ayat 184. And the Zubur in this epoch, that means era, in this era of time. In this epoch is the book of Revelation of St. John the Divine of the New Testament. Okay? That's why there are several passages, there are several contexts and thematics in the Moorish information platform that alludes to chapters and thematics and context in the book of Revelation. Okay. Those and the prophet, you understand, is the genius. He did this on purpose, just let us know who and what he is, who and what we are, and where is our place. You understand me? What is our place in the Islamic movement in the Western Hemisphere, in the modern era? See, there is an Islamic movement of and in the modern era. See, and for real, is this to be led by the, those who have been freed from both mental slavery, right? Both free from physical slavery, mental slavery, right? And their sinful ways, i.e. the descendants of the victims, right? Of the most horrendously cruel African-centered enslavement trade system, i.e. us, We had a problem, this is a lot of, we need to understand something, right? This is serious. This is a serious development in the Islamic religion itself, right? It is absolutely antithetical to the interpretation that's given to Surah 3340. They're trying to say there ain't no more prophets coming. It's not true. There's no more Rasuls coming. There's no one else coming to have a universal standard of worship. See, that's what that is. The seal is also stand for universal standardization. No one's coming to bring a universal standardization. That's why Noble Drew Ali Islam didn't come here and tell you how to eat and everything. It's already established. Didn't tell you how to use the bathroom. Didn't talk about Moorish etiquette and all that kind of stuff. Right? Didn't talk about Muslim etiquette. All that stuff been established. He came here to challenge a few tafsirs, right? Interpretations, viewpoints and everything. Right? But he didn't come here he didn't bring anything new. He didn't bring anything different. Only thing that's maybe considered different is the fact that he's a prophet. And guess what? The Quran don't support the end or the cessation, of a prophet, of the prophethood. Get into it. You don't believe it? All these ideas about a last prophet per se come from interpretations, not from Quranic scripture. When you actually get into the long line of prophethood itself in the Kitab, in Surah 6, right, 83 through 90, get into that. Look at it critically, scientifically, philosophically, right? Especially 86 through Surah 6, 86 through 90. Surah 6 through 86 through 90 will blow your mind. Because it tells you 4 great men who are favored above the nation, their children, received the book, authority, you understand me, and prophethood. Wisdom, divine authority, prophethood, seership, right? Prediction and everything. These 4 men who are favored above the nation, their children will receive prophets and books. That's why the Circle 7 falls under this category. You understand? Surah 16, ayat 43, 44, Surah Al-Imran or Surah 3, ayat 183, 184, books of clear signs and books of dark prophecy. The Circle 7, that's right. That's the proper name of the book. It's called the Circle 7. There's only one Kitab. There's only one Holy Quran. It is styled Holy Quran because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali set up that pattern that he's bringing the book. Right? But the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali tells us in the law. See, that's the officiality. It's in the law. All means ought to be open and closed promptly according to what? The Circle 7. in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Da la la. Right? That's official. Why is official? Because he mentioned it in the law. That is the official / legal name of the book, you understand, that Prophet Noah Drowley brought. Right? In real, it's a compilation. The true primary book that the Prophet Noah Drowley is the Quran Questions for Moorish Children. The 101s. The Great Meaning of Zolan. That's his book. That little scroll right there. It's the same little scroll he talks about in Revelation chapter 1, chapter 5. It's the same little scroll, written within and on the back side. See? Why didn't it say written within and on the front side? See, there's text on the back. There's text on the back. And pictogramophone, pictogram. Pictogram on the front and text on the back. Written within and on the back side. See? East side. The east side cover of the book is Form 1099. These are divinely guided configurations. See? And I'm gonna have to say it. With family. Okay? The truth is gonna come out anyway. All right, the truth is something else. Everybody just don't believe what this says, in the scripture. A time's gonna come where people, this age is when knowledge and stuff is gonna be increased. The jet age, people are gonna transverse. It talks about the jet age in Daniel's 12, the book of Daniel. The Protestant, Bible and the Catholic Bible, Daniel's 14, right? Talks about knowledge being increased, and people going to be flying through the air. The jet age, right? The jet age, the space age. You understand? Fiber optics and everything. The information is going to be increased, right? This is the age of truth, and and if you're not the truth. Right, and you projecting yourself as being truth, and then when you get found out, that's shame and disappointment. Right, but if you love the truth, you understand, and you project the truth, and you are the truth, that's everlasting life and happiness and everything. You being in the court for Allah. You're closer to Allah. We're happy when we're close to Allah anyway. Right, and this is real. We got to get into why we're different. Some of us have things that don't have basis in known things. Some of us have ideas and processes, right? Some of us have ideas and sets of knowledge, right? They can't be proven. Don't have a basis in known things. And we need to accept that and keep it moving progressively, upwardly, spirally, you understand? Seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we can, get these rewards that Allah ta'ala wants to give us. He wants to award us the 7 blessings of the Lamb. Get into that. How many brothers and sisters, follow that suggestion that I told you yesterday? I suggested that you study the 7 blessings of the Lamb in the modern day Zabur in chapter 5. So chapter 5 is Noble Drowley and the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Chapter 5 of the book of Revelation of St. John the Divine, alhamdulillah, and chapter 10 should be read and studied interchangeably. See? Chapter 5 is John the Baptist, Jesus Christ. Chapter 10, you understand, is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is their comforter. But bring it up to date, it's Noble Drowley, in his forerunner, chapter 5, right? Chapter 10 is his comforter. Chief Supreme National Grand Sheikh, Timothy Dingle Il, Noble Drew L.I. alayhi salam. Both of them, guess what? Both of them named Timothy. Both of them named Timothy. One from North Carolina, the other from South Carolina. Now, who knows the state secrets concerning North and South Carolina and Moroccan nobles coming over here, to celebrate the ratification of the Bill of Rights? Where did they settle? These 40 noble families, Sharifi Udin, These 40 noble families came over here, as a gesture of goodwill, gesture of goodwill and commemoration and recognition of the ratification of the Bill of Rights to the United States Constitution. It's truly the Bill of Rights are truly a process, a legislation of freedom that protects your freedom, your constitutional freedoms and everything. Bill of Rights is a wonderful document, right? In terms of protecting people's rights. You need to understand that. But I'm not going to cover this entire white paper right here, right? I'm getting inspired to write again, right? So I'm gonna create I'm gonna solicit some assistants, some really good and professional assistants to write a good preface and introduction to this piece right here, inshallah, and have it copyrighted and published and everything, and put it up for sale, very affordable, part of this volume that I like to create, this journal, volumes journal, right? Understanding more science, the explication of more science, right? Volume 1, introduction. The volume 1 is going to be introduction to the explication of the more science doctrine, founded by the Prophet Noble Drew alayhi salam, founded the more science temple of America, right? 1331 in Al Hydra, right? That's what it's already written down, it's already under copyright, so don't even try it, okay? There's 2 forms of copyright protection that I got on, on this literature and everything. So, you can go ahead on it and, try to rob me if you want to. So you're dealing with I'm telling you, you're dealing with a master. Okay? You're dealing with a brother who wears lights on his head. Okay? You're dealing with a brother that wears a lamp, a miner's lamp on his head. Okay? So you can try it if you want to. Right? I'm gonna get paid. You're not gonna get paid. I'm gonna get paid. Okay? Because you commit a crime. I'm gonna ask for punitive damages. Cause you steal from me, you commit the crime. If you steal, period, you commit the crime. But me, I don't play. You mess with me, I'm gonna mess with you. And I don't care who or what you are. I don't care if you're the favorite grandson of the Moab bomb dropper. If you fool with me, I'm going to fool with you. Okay. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Lord's Son Temple of Earth. No members put in danger, accused falsely as a brother or sister, or on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. See? That's the circle law. It begins with love and ends with love. See? Act 3. Act 3. Act 3. Begins with love and ends with love. That's the circle law. Act 3. We got to demonstrate that a lot among each other, especially us, the main 3. Because we're the leaders of our people. We're on right guidance. All the brothers and sisters, you understand me? A lot of I like guide them. I mean, but they still on the plantation. The black Christians refuse, right, to obey God. When God sent Prophet Noble Drew alayhi salam, it's a whole new leadership ball game. It's a whole new consciousness ball game. Allah Ta'ala, when He sent Prophet Nabi alayhi salam, he let us know who and what we are and what we're supposed to be doing. See, it's power demonstration. And like, we're just taking it too lightly. Especially these rebels in our movement and, the wannabes. This thing is holy, it's divine. You're not getting away with nothing, and you're going to be punished. I'm tell you, mark my words. A group is going to rise among us, man. They're going to be kicking hind parts. They're going to be kicking hind parts, man. They ain't going to have it. A lot of stuff these brothers are doing, you understand? It's a group that's going to rise among us, man. They not going to have it. You don't believe it? All right, keep on living. Keep on living and studying the prophet. Keep your ears and eyes in the divine records. You'll see it. You live long enough, you experience it. This is real. Study our history. What the prophet tells us, that when the prophet said, "You are what your ancient forefathers were, you are today," without doubt or contradiction. That is one of the most scientific of his sayings, man. One of the most scientific and spiritual of his sayings, right? We had forefathers, man, that wasn't no joke when it came to this thing. Wasn't no joke. We need to understand why, what came, you got to stop listening to what people saying about Islam and, about the Islamic movements today, so-called radicalism. We need to understand why and how these movements came about, like Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab and all them, Why did they come about? What's really going on? See, we should talk about that. Get into it. Right? But we gotta watch that thing. Because the enemy misconstrued what you saying or teaching and everything. Because Islam is a struggle now. These folks don't want Islam because they have all these bad industries and stuff down here. They building casinos and stuff, right? Road pharmacies and stuff like that. Pills and mess all over the place. People getting high and drunk and carrying on. These industries down here, man. These people don't want to let that stuff go. Gambling, you understand? And they exploiting people, and they keep certain people relegated to certain economic positions so they can be exploited and everything. They think they're innocent and everything. They think they're noble, because they might take some of the money and donate it, give it to charitable cause and everything, but they stole the money. They think that money being clean and everything. Not really. May appear so down here on earth, but on the day of judgment, Allah Ta'ala going to say, well, how do you make your money? Then you exploit these people. And you tried to ease your consciences by donating to charity and everything. So yeah, you might ease your conscience, but still, you didn't ease anything up here. Because in my eyesight, you was a criminal. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of these poor people just being exploited and everything. A lot of them going to paradise on the backs of rich folks. Just like the rich folks are riding into the lap of luxury on the backs of the poor. The poor, you understand me, going to ride into Jannah, you understand me, on the backs of the rich. So they really ain't getting away with nothing. Nobody really gets away with nothing. That's why, like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I too, ask Allah to take it easy on my account. Because I don't know, Allah Ta'ala may be angry with me about some things, well, I can talk about that. I just know when, Allah Ta'ala got some issue with me, right? I know that, that's personal. But I'm going to end my talk right now, right? But I just want us to understand, I want to reiterate, we are, the Morsi Temple Mosque is very important in Islam in the Western Hemisphere, right? And all of us need to understand that and stop playing. Because this ain't no joke, right? I'm talking about all you fakes and everything, hold religious feelings against Prophet Noble Dread, more son Temple Ryan, 2000 Prophet Noble Dread, this ain't no play with. You got some people in this movement, man, that, that ain't scared of you. Ain't scared of it, and they ain't playing. They ain't playing. Okay. So, you can keep on trying if you want to. And I'm warning you. Stay out of their business. Stop building it now fast. For a time will come when it will be too late for you to do so. Alright? May Allah Ta'ala bless the Muslims. May Allah Ta'ala bless the Moorish Americans. Right? May Allah Ta'ala bless our true friends and foreign sympathizers. May Allah Ta'ala have mercy on our souls and forgive us of our sins. May Allah Ta'ala protect and bless our children. Make sure they get them good grades in school, make them good children, obedient children, and make their parents proud of them. Right? And also pray that children have good parents as well. They raise them right and everything, guide them right in the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Okay? Have a good evening, have a good night, have a good morning. Ameen.